Good day and welcome to Bust the Net. I am President Chad, and in the hot seat with me today we have the man Atali. How you going, big brother?
I'm good, Chad. I'm good. What about you?
I can't complain except for my neighbor dog in the background there making real noise in my ears. I'm sure making noise in your ears too. But outside of that, I good, bro.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear.
Before we start talking about Manchester United and Manchester United business, I want to ask you a little bit. I know you play for the I-95 team.
Yes.
What is the name of the league you are playing?
Well, it's not actually a league. It's pet match football, where the I-95 football team go all over Trinidad and Tobago, all parts, village, towns, and play teams from these areas. And that's about to meet people, meet new friends, make new friends.
Well, you can't leave out other radio stations, other broadcast networks. You have personal rivalries going on with Red.
Red 96.7 and 107.1. The word came into the fray a couple of years now. Give us a good fight their first year. But the first time around they had the spirit, but then when they feel the I-95 roar, they know what it is.
They boil down. So when with COVID and stuff in the year, when last year was able to play some football, man?
We played a team called up on St. Benedict's ground, which was a beautiful ground. That a Sunday evening. I can't remember the date exactly, but that was the Sunday. The Monday was the second lockdown. And since after that second lockdown, when they opened back, they never had team sport.
Right.
So we hadn't played nearly, I would believe, over a year. We haven't played no pet match. I-95 haven't played any pet match football because due to the restrictions that it's a team sport. And so they never started with that.
All right, cool. Good afternoon to Valentino. Valentino is inside. Well, let's jump into the Manchester United business. Yesterday we saw the return of Paul Pogba. Right? He's been out for a while, since I think it was November last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Pogba has been out. What did you think about his performance yesterday?
I was expecting, my expectations of him would have been for the first 35 minutes, that energy, that skill that I know he has. I was expecting that, and then for him to drop off because of the level of fitness. He hasn't been playing football for a while. Training and being actual in a game is two different things. So I wasn't expecting to last the length of time he did. At least you see a few times he had a little knock, pull up a little bit. So I was expecting that. I wasn't expecting nothing really fantastic in his first time out. Just the basic 2 passes, linking up with the forward, that kind of thing.
I was impressed with Pogba's defensive work. Normally we know Pogba defensively is not good. I saw Pogba put in about 3 slide tackles yesterday. Excellent slide tackles. Perfect timing. He got the ball. He didn't take the man. His positioning seemed to be good yesterday. It had me wondering if he was working on these things, because normally that aspect, the good passing division, that is Paul Pogba. But that aspect of his game I normally didn't see. Did you notice that any difference in his defensive abilities yesterday?
In the early part of the game, until he got tired, because he ended up getting a yellow card because he miscontrolled and tried to get back and hit the man. And then he started, because he was tired after a certain time, after that yellow card, he went into some tackles would have been if he tried pulling out late and so forth. Luckily, he didn't get a second yellow card. But I think for his first time back out, from what we have seen from him defensively before, it's an improvement. Hopefully, the Rannick input will give him that inspiration and that know-how, that tackling ability.
All right.
So
Thank you.
I figured he would have been tired. So then when you're tired, you tend to be throwing yourself around, and what before he got injured when he went back to play for France, he had gotten a red card because of a late tackle.
Yeah, a late tackle.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so let's hope that the run out. Do you expect him to start the next game?
yes. I believe from the way the coach has spoken about him, he likes him.
Yeah.
And Pogba to me is a guy I feel that interaction with the coach, that arm around him, that telling you, putting that confidence in him, telling him this is your ability, this is what you can do, and actually talking to him. And I think Rannick is that kind of coach, and
You think
that
Pogba
will,
will
I think,
respond well?
yes. But then people is trying to compare France with Manchester United. Manchester United do have a Conte, right? We don't have that. If we had that, and the position that Pogba actually plays for France, Pogba for France has the freedom. Bruno has the freedom most of the time, but Pogba don't have that freedom that Bruno has. So my guess, and Manchester United fans of all quarters, if you watch any Manchester United videos, they would be asking why we don't get a defensive midfielder. Then you could let go of Bruno and Pogba, play them together, and you'll have that attacking more like France, where you have a actual defensive midfielder.
I'm not in any way comparing the likes of Fred or Scott to the likes of Kante or the
Never.
Casemiro. I'm not. But strictly looking at Manchester United, Scott has been doing a fairly good job since Ralf has arrived. Wouldn't you say so?
Not defensively. He can't tackle. When they play him, watch McTominay, when they put him to play that attacking, driving from the midfield, collecting the ball and driving forward from the midfield. He always has a better game. Watch the performances. And when they put him to play that defensive in front, the Matic role, he can't play that because he can't tackle. And I mean, he has been playing at the club for this length of time, and you're trying to make him a carrot, and he's not a carrot, and he will never be a carrot because he don't have that mobility. That mobility. Watch when he tackles, when attacking players attacks McTominay, he fouls them all the time, or they get wrong him. Can't tackle. You understand? And we as fans seeing it, and I can't understand why they keep trying to make him a player he's not. And he has said it before. He's not that player. He likes to attack.
Well, clearly, the club managers have to try simply because the board not buying the players for the managers to play in the position. Matic, we know, can't play 2 games back to back. You know what I mean? So we don't have a choice.
I don't think he can play a whole game.
Right.
He can't play a whole game with intensity.
Correct.
What's less than 2?
Play a whole game. So it's Fred and Scott we had to have, you know what I mean? That is what it is. Good evening to Carlton. So, all right. Well, I found overall Pogba as well had a decent game, his performance, until he started to get tired. And I expect him to perform even better in the next game,
yes.
which is on Tuesday.
Condition, yeah, Tuesday. Burnley, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday in the league. So there's a little situation with Jesse Lingard and the coach. So in the last press conference, the coach came out and said that Jesse asked for some time off to clear his head. And, so he wouldn't be available. He hasn't trained. Now, one of the things I
Yes.
like about Ralph that I consider refreshing is Ralph is just very matter of fact, down to earth. You don't get the sense from him, like with Jose Mourinho, there was always some political game. There was always some kind of strings pulling. Ralph and with this Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you got the sense that he was always trying to protect the players or protect the club or
Yes.
protect the board. So
Yes.
he was always trying to talk in certain coach terms, to be kind of the people friendly person to everybody. And
Yes.
Ralph just seems very practical, as most Germans are, right? Ralph is
Yes.
just say it as it is.
Say it as it is.
He,
Yes.
it have nothing. It kind of like it had nothing to hide here, right? It had nothing to hide here. So afterwards, Jesse Lingard put out a tweet saying that nothing wrong with his mental. He's always available to play. The club, sorry, he said the club told him to take some time off. Now, again, that makes Ralph look bad. Just like when Ralph said Martial didn't want to
Didn't
play,
want to. Yes.
and then Martial come out and say he wanted to play. And it makes us as supporters ask ourselves, but what really going on here?
Yeah.
Because
What's
it's
going on
very
here?
hard to disbelieve Ralph because he's just so straightforward and matter of factly. It come
Yes.
like, even before that, even before he spoke about Jesse in that regard, the question was about Jesse's transfer. And he said, Jesse came, he spoke to me, he asked me for the transfer. I told him no problem. Right? Once you and the board could organize, no problem. You want to play, you have World Cup aspirations, no problem. I gave the okay. It didn't happen, which is not Ralph's fault. It's more on the board's fault. And I also think Jesse Lingard have some blame to take because when Jesse could have left, right, there were deals on the table in the summer. He did not go. At the beginning of the January window, he did not try to go. He tried to go in the last 2 weeks of the January transfer window, and then the club couldn't come to terms, clear terms with Newcastle. So Jesse has a role to play in the fact that he is at Manchester United still. But Ralph, it
Exactly.
just seems very straightforward. So after Lingard said what he said, he came out and said, the club told him to take time off. He didn't say he needed time off. Ralph came out and doubled down. Ralph said the player said that he needed time off. Now we hear in reports that it is very likely that the club did tell Jesse to take time off, but it wasn't Ralph. It was Murta, right?
Yes.
Murta called Jesse and said, hey, take some time off. And probably would have forwarded the message to Ralph, Jesse taking some time off to clear his head. So Ralph is saying what he know, right? He's saying what
Exactly.
he know. Now, there's some kind of miscommunication. But the bigger thing for me is why do we have players that feel it necessary to come out in the public and defend themselves? Because Ralph not throwing you under the bus. Ralph is saying that you say you're going to take time off. Now, even though you may not have said that, you don't want to call Ralph, send him a message and say, boss, I really didn't say this, how it went down. I didn't say that. You could clear that up because it make him look bad. He said Cavani had jet lag, so Cavani didn't train, we didn't have Cavani for the game. Ralph is just talking, not like making players
He's
look
saying
bad.
it as
I
he sees
watched
it.
that press conference and
Saying
I didn't think
it.
anything negative about Jesse when I saw it, when he said what he said.
Now, I hear me on this, right? Jesse is upset with the club for some reason because he didn't get a chance. So he sees Marshall gone. He see Van der Beek going to Everton. Marshall going to Sevilla, and he decided last minute because he had an option to go early in the January, right? Once the deal had come through, he had options. You get a club that matching what we want, you could go, right? Early in the season, later on in the transfer window, he decided to come up and say he want to leave. Ralph say, okay, go ahead. You understand? Once you and the management team could get organized, I give you okay, you could go ahead. You understand? For whatever reason, the board and whoever they were trying to deal with didn't see eye to eye. The deal didn't go through. But he is upset because he didn't get to go. So when Ralph say what he said, he feel it to himself. I don't care. Them fellas don't care again. They don't care because they seem to have some kind of power. And I will blame the board for this, brother. The board and Solskjaer. You know why? Solskjaer has condoned a lot and hide a lot of things from on these players. Whereas Jose was saying it as it is. When they do whatever, Jose saying, well, so and this and that and the other. That's why they wouldn't like Jose. That's why they wouldn't like Ranić. Because they are outspoken. Why they think they didn't want to bring Conte? Conte even worse than Mourinho. You understand? So they wouldn't want Conte because Conte, you're not doing this. I want it this way. You are the leave. You understand? And he ain't coming out of press conference and nicing up nothing for no one. And the board wants somebody who they could up it and, as you say, cover for them. And that is the whole situation. No, Ranić, as I say, I don't know if it's a German in him. They are straightforward. Here we're going on. We training five times, whatever period you are custom training to. You just imagine you getting this kind of money. You telling me you going home in the dark and you tell it. These players and them something wrong with them. Your work is football. If my boss tell me actually I had to work 3 extra hours, I understand work 3 extra hours. Otherwise, I don't want to work. And I don't get any kind of money them fellas getting. You understand what I'm saying? So Jesse, for me, Jesse should have left long time. They should have sold Jesse when he came from West Ham. He had that nice little time with West Ham. Tell him, but then against Spurs have a lot to do with what going on here. You understand? He had
players.
As far as I understand,
have too much power.
Power and he has given certain players certain assurities, and during the season it wasn't fulfilling, and then you see what happened. It all ended up in a disarray. Now, someone has drawn to my attention. I want to bring up this. They say you feel every player, even on ESPN and these sites, and you see some of them commentators saying you feel everybody is happy of their playing time at Man City. No, but they're not coming out in public because here we're going on. If you come out in public and show your disgruntledness, here we're going on. Out the door. One time. The board is saying, nah, don't keep him. Don't sell him.
That was, people forget, that was what we used to go on with Sir Alex Ferguson.
Exactly. Because, no matter how big he is.
Because Van Nistelrooy,
one
of our best strikers up to date in terms of his statistics, goals to minutes played. Van Nistelrooy probably has the best turnover. So it was when we sold Van Nistelrooy, it had nothing to do with a lack of performance. It had to do with public. He has public
perception
and Sir Alex wasn't having it. You don't go out in public and get vexed and know. If I tell you bench and stay quiet and smile for the cameras, right?
It's the best demand. It's the best he got rid of. Vidic in his prime, he got rid of Vidic. You understand?
This guy as well, Beckham. When we sold Beckham was probably the best passer, the best long distance passer in the world.
Exactly.
Kick taker.
Yeah. That's what Real Madrid bought him for.
Things were falling out. They're getting out there in the public. What's the truth? You know what I mean? And we know we have to realize that yes, it's a different time, and players have all these different avenues. They could send a Instagram, they could tweet, they have all these avenues to put their version out there. But they need to take into consideration how the club looks instead of just their own image.
Chad, listen to me, yeah? Listen to what I'm saying. And I'm going to tell you this. That could be controlled. You hear what I'm saying? The board could have that under control. But if you chummy with the board, one of the board members, and they're putting their arm around you and they're talking to you and they're telling you, what happened to you? You ain't feeling well? You want that 2 days? You ain't talking to the coach, but you're talking to the board. And that's what was going on. That's what went on under Mourinho. Players going behind the coach back and talking to the board. Mourinho says, and talking to members of the board and putting pressure on the. You understand? So the down tools, I'm not playing for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is the situation. And the same thing, what happened to Solskjaer? And I blame Solskjaer. I'm not saying Solskjaer is a brilliant coach, but if the players then play to what he wants, and you see it under Rannick, the first game Rannick played, the first 30 minutes, they played exactly to what Rannick wanted. After that, they run out of steam. You know why? The Rannick way.
Custom running so much.
Exactly. Now he tries to get you to your fitness to a certain level that you could do that for 90 minutes. You complaining. You're going no mini dark. You telling me. So let me get back to Lindegaard. Lindegaard is no to me, Lindegaard is an okay player, but to say we need you, we don't need you, brother. And we have young talent. We have young players that I feel could do a better job. You could bring from the under 23 that could do a better. We have players I feel better than Lindegaard on loan. You understand?
Now, Ralf did admit that the situation with Greenwood being suspended, not being part of the team, may have had something to do with it. But the bottom line is, I don't think if it was up to Ralf that Lingard would be here. I think if it was up to Ralf, Lingard was going on loan.
And this is what I'm going to tell you. The board is doing things that they must be taken. They have to be taken because none of the board members seems to have nothing knowledge of football, because remember they trying to do back to bring this 10-team league. They try to NFL this soccer, you realize that?
Yeah, well, that's exactly. Well, that's what they know.
Exactly. Right? So
they're involved in that were American owners, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, all owned by Americans. So that is what
exactly. And these boards and them. Ironically, Liverpool. I don't think, because I think Klopp is the man running. He's what he wants to get. Because where there was and where Klopp bring them, they're listening to him. You understand? But our board, brother, is our being. That's why our football, Manchester United football, is where it is today. You could bring what coach to coach Manchester United. Once that board have the main say, we are in problems for a very long time. Watch from Alex Ferguson time when he had the say. He had the say. I want this, I want that. Get rid of this, get rid of that. You realize the season that Alex Ferguson say Rooney wanted to go. He wanted more money or some kind of thing like that. And he said, you go ahead. And the board say no. The next season he retired, right? Because he realized he was losing the power that he had for the team. And he over the years would know, if I don't have the final say, if I don't have the say of the team, it makes no sense I running a team. Because I want for instance, like today, like the present time, I want a defensive midfielder in my team. You telling me I can't get a defensive midfielder? And
we have been needing a defensive midfielder for about 3 seasons now. But what you're saying there is really significant, and I think we all know the challenges of Manchester United board, and I think I agree with you that which is one of the reasons I hope that Ralf is indeed elevated to a position where he will have influence behind the scenes, because we need people that understand football, that have football knowledge, as well as football connections. You understand? Because, okay, Murta might have football knowledge because he was involved with the coaching staff, right? Darren Fletcher, obviously used to play for Manchester United, so he would have a little bit of football knowledge. However, when you're talking about systems, these guys were not coaches at a high level. Ralf is. Ralf knows what it is to build clubs, whether it is lower league clubs, whether it is Premier League clubs, first division clubs. He knows what it is to build an institution. And I hope that they really allow Ralf the authority, the influence at Manchester United. I mean, to be honest with you, it don't really look too great right now. But I believe that is so because they're still looking at him as a coach. I'm hoping when he moves upstairs that he has that influence, because I think Ralph could take us in that direction. And I believe he really
Yeah,
can.
yeah, but let me say this here, Chad. Right? You see the man resume. You see Rannick resume, right? You telling me Murta and Fletcher. I telling you as Ralph that I would like a defensive midfielder. I point out a defensive midfielder, at least two. We were offered three players, two defensive midfielder, and I believe at striker. All that came out there, we were offered one that Ralph know very well and know that he will do a good job.
Decide they want to wait. They want to wait until the summer.
A defensive midfielder is a defensive midfielder, brother. A footballer is a footballer. Every system need a player like that, and we don't have one. So if you get one now for cheap, on the cheap, you ain't gonna take advantage of it and wait until the summer that you might have to pay 30,000-40,000 for one. That make any sense? You tell me these fellas that I'm actually thinking. No, they can't be, Chad. I mean, it's only logical and no, Chad. You pay the most you might have paid for the guy would have been 8 million. Because the fella ain't signing, the guy ain't signing no new contract, and he will go on a free. Pay 10 million because spot is so up yet, Chad. Spot is sure yet after that performance yesterday, and the kind of outs I see going out of our club.
Even before the performance yesterday, Fort Spot wasn't sure. Because we have games that we have teams that have games on us. Right? We have Arsenal and West Ham, and not West Ham, sorry, Arsenal and Spurs have games on us. If we win all our games and they win all theirs, we're still not in fourth place. So fourth place is not guaranteed as yet, period. So I agree with you. You should have filled the hole in the team.
And this is what I'm going to say. It's our teams over the years, they have a pattern, Chad. Arsenal, they will fall off.
I expect
and they have been on a decline, and they haven't bought anybody. Right? Tottenham will explode for itself.
They didn't try.
Yeah, nobody want to go there, right? Tottenham will explode for itself. You know what I'm telling you? They will explode for themselves. I ain't worried about that. It's just for us to continue winning our games, and we will get fourth spot. But the way I see they playing yesterday, I
didn't really want to bring up yesterday, but for people who don't know, when you play 595 and you play the Fet Match football, you are a striker, yes?
Yeah, I started off as a wing back, yeah, and end up a striker. I started off when I was playing club football for Petrotrin. I started off as a right back, and when I went to senior sec, they made me a striker because I had speed and I had some touches on the ball. So they moved me up to the front when I went Claxton with senior comprehensive. They put me as a striker. I threw a lot of goals there, but I scored.
So the reason I wanna put this out there, and then we're gonna just touch on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and end it off. You, from somebody who plays football, you know, okay, not on a professional level, but you still play football, right?
Yes.
Regularly. And on a competitive level, we're not just talking about
Yes.
knocking in, taking a little sweat in the road, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You, as somebody who does that, and somebody who's a striker, when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo's performance over the last 5 games, is it fair for me? Is what I'm going to say now is tell me if I'm being fair or if it's an unfair statement, right? If I
Okay.
say to you, Cristiano Ronaldo looks like he's a pedestrian, he looks like he is not hitting his levels. He doesn't look, when you look at Rashford, you say he's out of form. When I
Yes.
look at Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't see somebody who's out of form. I see somebody who accustomed playing up here and they look like they're playing down here. That's what I see. Is that fair? Do you see that as well?
How to put it? His levels now. When he first came, he scored some goals
No, I talk about the
for us,
last five
right?
games.
Yeah, but I want to put it in context, right? When he started, and people after a while, people saying service to the forwards, which was always always a problem. Service to the forwards and them, because
Not the
Marshall
last
went
few
through it,
games, not the last few
Cavani.
games under Ralf. Men getting real goal to score. The train away.
So, but I just want to put it in context. How I saw it, and people were saying it. He started off well, then he went a stage where he started to miss, he started to look out of sorts, and people were saying he's not getting service because the goal started drive. He wasn't getting service that he's supposed to get from the midfield and the crosses, because we have two wingers. Just putting it in context, we have two wingers who is really attackers and they don't cross the ball, which he strives on, right? And then now coming into Ralph, you see where he getting headers, which he can't reach. A header, someone, I think was someone putting a cross, and when I say goal, he couldn't reach it. And then you see, and I was telling people this: watch Cristiano. I saw Cristiano got a breakaway, right? And if that was Rashford, if Rashford missed, all well and good. But Rashford would have
He
reached the
got the
ball.
ball on the left hand side and he didn't
He
run
get the
because he
ball.
up
He
and he
couldn't
waits and he
run.
pass it back.
But he couldn't run. He don't have the legs again. And yesterday compounded all. How much time you see he fall? Cristiano fall a lot yesterday. It had a ball that ended up on Bruno foot that Bruno supposed to score. Cristiano was running to the guy to tackle and fall long before he even reached the guy. And his legs is not there. You wasn't.
Let's let me read this comment from Carlton because it's very relevant to what we're talking about. Carlton is
Yeah.
saying Ronaldo is past his prime. He is in the top 3 in the EPL in missed chances and shots off target, which is a fact. Cristiano Ronaldo has had a lot of shots in the past 5 games, and his conversion rate is horrible at the point right now. Horrible.
And
So
and and you and Chad, you see when they take him off, what happened, right? You saw his reaction.
I don't understand. You should be glad to
And
come off because you're
and he
underperforming.
and he should have come off early yesterday. He should have come off in about the 60th, 65th minute. He should have come off and give somebody with more legs a chance, 25 minutes to. But maybe they were thinking about penalties. But if you're looking to win a game, you're thinking about penalties, right? To keep Ronaldo on if it go down to penalties. You understand? Because you're looking to win a game. So you take him off, and then you might have got a worse reaction than you got when he got subbed earlier on. So I don't know if it's actually a factor to sub him because he wasn't performing here before. And this is where,
Let me ask
and
you a
this is,
question. If it
uh-huh,
was up to you,
uh-huh,
who would be your front 3? Because Ralph has been playing 4-3-3, right? Who
yes.
would be your front 3 in our game against Burnley?
I would have say Marshall and Greenwood. We do have Greenwood, we do have Marshall.
Correct.
So I'm going to go. He has to start Ilanga. I would have start Cavani and I'll start Rashford
Okay.
as my front three.
So you would so Ilanga would be on the left. You put Rashford on the right,
and
and
start Cavani
Cavani up front.
down the
So you
stretch.
would leave Ronaldo on the bench. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yes,
I for one,
which they wouldn't do.
I for
And,
one,
and, and
I think Ralph is a strong enough manager to do it. But it all depends on how people look. If Cavani not looking up to it, Ralph seems to do things the right way. If you're trained good, you play. If you're not
yes,
looking
yes,
good in training, I ain't putting it as that. And I, but just based on Cristiano Ronaldo's last performance, it looks to
I
me
would
like
start him.
Cristiano Ronaldo is coasting until Champions League, and I think we'll see another
I,
level. And if you're
I don't think,
coasting between now and then you should be on the bench.
Chad, your eyes wrong. He is not coasting.
He just
He
knocked
has
it.
no legs. He has no
You see,
legs.
that is why I ask you, because you are a man that plays sports, so your eyes, you would
He
see
has he
differently to
has
me.
no legs. Listen to me. And this is what I will tell you due to experience. When a player is tired, we're going back to Pogba. When a player is tired, he started to throw his body out to tackle, carry. He started to throw his body around because he's tired. Ronaldo must fall about 6 or 7 times. Nobody around you. You just falling. You has no legs. And if you have no legs, if your legs go, and this is where Ralf should have taken him off because then we need you for Burnley on Tuesday. You
Correct.
understand? Take you off a 65th minute and let you take a rest because you're gonna play 90. You're not productive to the team.
And that is my reason why I don't think he should play against Burnley.
No, no,
Because of
no,
the
no.
amount of time he spent playing in this game.
And my thing now, right? If you decide if Ralph decide yes, Ronaldo starting, I will start him and Cavani
Okay.
because 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 how Cavani is a hustler. Ronaldo wouldn't have all that running to do. Ronaldo will play off Cavani. You understand? And if you watch when Cavani and Ronaldo play, you see a different kind of a play in the forward. Although it's two old guys, but they have experience. And Cavani is a hustler. Who does hustle more than Cavani? Now I see Rashford yesterday was real. It was hustling. Yesterday, first time I see running back, he lost a ball and he ended up right back behind it on his half tackling. I never used to see that
Yeah,
from Rashford. You used to see that from
know,
Rashford?
I saw that the first player I noticed that with was Greenwood, because Greenwood's defensive hustle was poor. And under
Oh,
Ralph,
very.
I saw improvement from Greenwood. And let me tell you something. Mason Greenwood, let's hope all the best for that situation. Rashford and even Sancho are Ilanga are all going to be better players because of this
On
time with
that,
Ralph Ragnick. This
yes.
time where they have this higher work rate and they understand position and they understand. Let me tell you something. They are going to be better players going forward because of this time under Ralph Ragnick. But my words. I want to talk a little bit about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. For those of you who don't know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a daughter that plays for Manchester United. She got her
Yes.
debut about 2 weeks ago, and Ole and his family is in Manchester. And the report is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his family are going to be remaining in Manchester for the rest of the season. Now, on the surface of it, it looks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in Manchester to support his daughter. Right? The family is there and they're supporting the daughter.
Stick and Chad.
I hurry up.
Yes.
Yes, I would not be surprised if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer returns in some capacity in the back room and when I say back room, it could be like in the under 23s setup, because remember that is where he was before. That is where he knew Pogba from, and he was actually very good in that setup, he was very good. But it wouldn't surprise me if we hear about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer re-emerging in Manchester United. If that was to happen, now that is all hypothetical. I'm not saying that I know that for a fact. I'm just saying that
Yes.
it would not surprise me. You
Price,
know,
yes.
that
With
Ole,
Manchester United, anything is possible.
that Ole re-emerges in the setup. How would you feel about that? Not the
Which
senior
setup?
team setup, not the senior team setup, but in the back room, whether with the youth teams or maybe in some position within the club.
Yeah, once you stay away from the senior setup, I
Once
have
you
no
stay away
problem
from
with
the
that.
senior team, you good.
Yeah. He had the
And you,
time.
mhm.
I have no problem if he go the under 23s, the under 18s, and feed up players to the senior team. I have no problem with that. Stay away from the senior team. Stay away. I'm telling you.
All right,
BIS
all
boy
right.
for the under 23s and things. BIS boy for the under 23s, the under 18s, or under 16, whatever. But just stay away from the senior team. Stay away.
I hear that. I hear that. Um,
Now, listen. Before you say anything, I don't want to be ungrateful. Solskjaer came in and put us on a nice run. We had a good time. Solskjaer, yes. But then you see he beat Klopp, he beat what's his name? Pep.
Pep. Mhm.
Whole season he beat Pep, he beat Klopp, he beat the big guys on them. But then your man management not good. And if his man management was good, he would have last longer. I tell you that. You understand? His man management
Well,
was poor.
the players liked him, but you know, man management is a lot more than that. So I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
You understand?
Because
Rotation
when it counted, the players didn't step up. The
and the
players didn't
players
step
that he seemed to have confidence in
didn't
threw
step
him
up.
under the bus, right?
Yeah, they didn't step up.
And it come a time when you have to say, here we're going on. Yes, I like you this much. I believe in you, but you're not. It's going on too long. You're not performing. Let me give out someone else a chance. Donny Van der Beek deserve a chance on that Solskjaer. I don't care what nobody says. He deserved more of a chance on that Solskjaer. It had
Well,
a time Fred
we
was in
go,
a mess.
we're gonna soon see
What
what
he's
he's
made
able
of.
to produce on the Everton. You know what I mean?
A- And
Actually,
then and then we and then we
actually,
then we'll
all
know
right.
for sure what we had wasted. What we wasted.
Yeah. Well, I
Because every
mean, the bottom line is he coming back in the summer. I hope he does
yeah. But
great,
yeah, me too.
because if he
I also.
doesn't do well, it's just gonna look like these coaches knew this, and that's why he wasn't in the team. So let's hope for the best.
And
Jeffrey
Marsha,
is saying, I think meant to say Ole. Ole is fresh in the coaching realm. Yeah, I don't think he meant okay. I think he meant to say Ole. And Carlton is saying Ole set us back. Even though he got top four during his time, the gap between United and City and Liverpool widened.
Chan.
And Carlton is right to know, but I don't think we could blame Ole for that. I think a big part of
No.
that is also the board,
Yes.
because even
Chan.
Ole didn't always get what he wanted in terms of players.
Let me ask you a question, right? You ever go on YouTube and see a Manchester United training session?
Yeah.
You see whether they did win? Knock the ball, like the player circle and then knock the ball around, and this one try to get the ball and
You're
that.
talking about now with Ralph, what are you talking about before with Ole?
With Ole. With Ole.
Well, let's
I
be real. One of the reasons why these players had a challenge adapting to the regime of Ralph and the workload of Ralph was because of how easy they had it under the
exactly.
regime of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I don't
Right?
totally blame that on Ole, because we know McKenna was the one who was responsible for dealing with
Yeah,
training.
and this is what I'm going to tell you, right? McKenna and and, and this one who's still there.
Yeah, I know. We know you're talking about. I just always forget his name
No,
too.
no, listen to me, right? Ole get the axe. They still there. Why? Ole never used to train anything. Imagine this. I'm going to go back here, right? I want to draw your attention and many players, many people, many supporters. I don't know if they ever noticed it. Wan-Bissaka. How long Wan-Bissaka at our club?
2 seasons,
What,
going on 3.
We're on 3, right? Now tell me. So Gate at one in the early part of his career at Manchester United. Everyone was asking, Wan-Bissaka has the best tackling rate in the Premier League. Why you're not picking him? He said, Southgate said, I need my defenders to be able to be cross the ball. Wan-Bissaka can't cross the ball. Although his tackling rate better than the rest on the England team. Winning 3 years, he is there. He can't cross a ball yet. And you are people coaching this guy? Eh? He can't cross. No. Listen to me.
I hear you. But as a striker, I mean, Lukaku has played across leagues, across teams. He still can't trap certain things you can't teach people.
Let me not use that as an example. Ole had a right to send him. As Ole come, Ole see what we're on and send him away one time. Well, that was one of the smartest moves. I don't care what nobody say. He go on Italy where you bully players, bully defenders, and score second goal and look good. What are you doing at Chelsea? How are you looking?
Average.
And this is what I tell you. Why think he say you want to go back? He loves Milan and you want to go back to Milan because you want to go back to Italy and bully players, bully defenders off the ball again and run.
I agree with him. You want to go where you will be the most successful.
But they don't want him though. They ain't want him back though. Eh?
Well, you have to remember the man getting more money now, you know. So
No.
And not just that. Not just that. Also, is a different coach.
Yeah, but understand what I'm saying. He wants to go back. He wanted to go back. He said he wanted to go back. He want to go back there. But Milan don't want him. Not because of the money. They don't want him. You understand what I'm saying? They say that the fans put up a big banner. They don't want him. You telling me?
Well, that's Chelsea headache now. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes it's hard to teach. The thing is, Wan-Bissaka is not an old dog. He's still a very young player, and he should
listen. Chad, listen to me. What I'm saying. I've been in the coaching setup. I've played football. These fellas and them, I don't know long time, like players long time. They know they have a weakness. Crossing is my weakness.
You work on it.
They stay back after a session and you cross balls. You run down the line, you cross balls until you get it perfect. Or you try to get it as perfect as you could. You understand what I'm saying? Your weakness at free kicks, you want to be kicking free kicks, you stay back, you come early, and you start practicing free kick. Whatever your weakness is, if you know your weakness is crossing the ball, and that is the only thing keeping you off of the England team, you telling me you can't go and learn to cross a ball? Crossing a ball is one of the easiest things to do, brother. You should know that. You didn't play a little football. I think crossing the ball is one of the easiest things.
I not disagreeing with you, you know. I am agreeing. I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with you.
So don't tell me a fella who getting paid to play this football can't take the time to go and practice crossing the ball for nearly 3 years. You can't cross the ball still.
I mean,
Ralf now is now looking at a little thing because I see the last game he played, he come on and he start crossing the ball. He wasn't getting it as thing, but
let's be real. Ralf has made it clear. If you can't perform offensively as well as defensively, you're not going to make it in the team. So if Wan-Bissaka wants, forget about England now, if he wants to play for Manchester United, he's going to have to improve, plain and simple. He's going to have to improve his attacking.
But my point is, Chad, you telling me none of these coaches could go and sit with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, your crosses need working on. Or Solskjaer tell the coaches, I want Wan-Bissaka doing some crosses. I know what he's doing, play no set play and no small goal and that kind of thing. I want him only going and learning to cross that ball properly for me. That is what coaches do. You have a player because his tackling is brilliant. It's his attacking prowess is poor. So what you're doing, all he has to be doing is going out when you come in that evening. Coach, all I want him to do is going down the line and crossing that ball. Put points where he targets where he must hit, what he must hit. That way you're doing all day. Let the rest of them do what they're doing. All I want you doing when you come in is crossing that ball. And you telling me he within a month or two, crossing that ball is not a difficult thing, brother.
Don't worry. I'm sure we're going to see a better version of Wan-Bissaka because Luke Shaw yesterday looked very good. And the reason we know he looked good is because he knows that if he don't perform, Tellez is going to take his spot. So
yeah, but if I believe if Luke Shaw gets fit, when I say fit, Tellez can't remove him from it because as a wing back,
I agree as well.
Luke Shaw is one of our, to me, I feel is one of our best wing back, especially in attacking.
I believe Luke's game is more dynamic.
Yes.
Tellez is like a one-trick pony. He run down the wing, he cross the ball. Luke Shaw will cut in, he will run down the line, he will do different things, and I think that makes him better for me.
And for me, I feel his defending. Luke Shaw is a better defender than him
as well.
Defensive.
Correct. Yeah.
You understand? So that's just my observation.
No, but the thing is, it's still nice that Ralf is willing to play Tellez because now Luke knows I have to hit my levels. If I don't hit my levels, I'm not going to be in the team.
And listen to me, the games they play, Tellez and
Delo.
Delo. We lost, right?
True.
And to me, that our two worst wing backs defensively. That's our two worst wing backs defensively. And we lost. What's that?
True.
You understand? When we played a Champions League game. I think it was the second last Champions League game. I can't remember who we played. It had a guy had Tellez in a mess.
Yeah, Tellez was looking very average.
What's the only average? Tellez will look like a primary school player. The only thing Tellez did good in that game was when the ball came across, he hit a volley and scored. A beautiful volley. That's the only thing Tellez doing that game. The guy ripped Tellez to shreds. You understand? So,
right.
But some people are saying that give him more game time, he and Delo more game time, and they will get in tune because Tellez played whole game for Brazil last World Cup qualifier.
I honestly believe that's the only reason he wasn't on the team. Ralf said it. He played. He
and Cavani.
Carlton is saying too many errant passes yesterday. He checked at least 10 in the game. And, to be honest with you, most times when Manchester United conceding since Ralf is here, from my observation, it is because of us giving the opposition the ball. Since Ralf has come, nobody has played through us and scored. Right? So, but go ahead.
I want to say this. That goal yesterday, I will call it unfortunate.
Of course, because I can't understand how a man could hand a ball.
No,
and the man hand. I don't care if it's deliberate or not. It was in the procession of scoring a goal. But anyway, go ahead.
And my thing with that was the ball was going away from the man. He hit it down into his path. Now, if he had moved his hand away, the ball would have gone a different direction, go further away from him, and it wouldn't have been there for him to put it across. So I couldn't understand the logic in accidental because it hit his hand. The ball hit his hand. The ball came down to his foot. If it didn't hit his hand, it would have gone away from him. It would have been down by his foot for him to cross it for the man to score. Correct. Now, and this is what we as coaches just try to get into players' head. Play to the whistle. Worse again now, where it has VAR, they don't call certain things because they will wait until their VAR check it. So you seeing the ball hit his hand and play continues, you have to continue playing. Maguire raising his hand, the person behind Maguire raising his hand, and Pogba struggling to reach the man who actually hit the ball in because that was Pogba man. You understand? Coming from the far post. Pogba struggling to reach him. When the man put the ball behind him, he raising his hand. Now, when they go to VR, now I say that goal could not count, but some miraculously somehow the VR room say, well, it was accidental. I can't understand that, but that is the next thing. But because I don't mind we lost. Listen what I'm saying. I don't mind we lost because we throw too much easy chances.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, we did a breakdown on our breakdown of the game yesterday. So anybody who wants to take that in on the channel, because after every game we do the breakdown. We had Gregory, CJ on that program, and the man Antonio. So you all could always check that out after this. Actually, I really appreciate your time.
No problem, man.
Appreciate your insight.
No problem, Chad. Anytime.
We will definitely do it again sometime.
Yes.
So this is President
Chad. I would love that.
For Buzz the Net saying good evening and God bless everybody. Remember, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this